Continuing with Deuteronomy 19:15. One witness shall not rise up against a man for any iniquity, for any sin, in any sin that he may commit. At the mouth of 2 witnesses, or at the mouth of 3 witnesses, shall the matter be established. If a false witness rise up against any man to testify against him that which is wrong, then both the men between whom is the controversy shall stand before the Lord, before the priests and the judges, who shall be in those days, and the judges shall make diligent inquiry. And behold, if the witness is a false witness, and has testified falsely against his brother, then you shall do to him as he had thought to have done to his brother. So shalt thou put evil away from among you. And those who remain shall hear and fear, and shall henceforth commit no more any such evil among you. And thy eye shall not pity, but life for life, eye for eye, tooth for tooth, hand for hand, foot for foot. When thou goest out to battle against thy enemies, and seest horses and chariots, and a people more numerous than thou, be not afraid of them, for the Lord thy God is with thee, who brought thee up out of the land of Mizraim. And it shall be, when you are come near to the battle, that the priest shall approach and speak to the people, and shall say to them, Hear, O Israel, you draw near today to do battle against your enemies. Let not your hearts faint, fear not, do not tremble, nor be terrified because of them. For the Lord your God is he that goes with you to fight for you against your enemies, to save you. And the officer shall speak to the people, saying, What man is there that has built a new house, and has not dedicated it? Let him go and return to his house, lest he die in the battle, and another man dedicate it. And what man is he that has planted a vineyard, and has not yet eaten of it? Let him also go and return to his house, lest he die in the battle, and another man eat of it. And what man is there that has betrothed a wife, and has not taken her? Let him go and return to his house, lest he die in the battle, and another man take her. And the officers shall speak further to the people, and they shall say, What man is there that is fearful and faint-hearted? Let him go and return to his house, lest his brethren's heart melt like his heart. And it shall be, when the officers have made an end of speaking to the people, that they shall make captains of the armies to lead the people. When thou comest near to a city to fight against it, then proclaim peace to it. And it shall be, if it make thee answer of peace, and open to thee, then it shall be that all the people to be found in it shall be tributaries to thee, and they shall serve thee. And if it will make no peace with thee, but will make war against thee, then shalt besiege it. And when the Lord thy God has delivered it into thy hands, thou shalt smite every male of it with the edge of the sword, but the women, and the little ones, and the cattle, and all that is in the city, all the spoil of it, shalt thou take to thyself. Thou shalt eat of the spoil of thy enemies, which the Lord thy God has given thee. Thou shalt do to all the cities which are very far off from thee, which are not of the cities of these nations, but of the cities of these peoples, which the Lord thy God gives thee for an inheritance. Thou shalt save alive nothing that breathes, but thou shalt utterly destroy them. The Hittite, and the Amorite, and the Canaanite, and the Perizzite, and the Hivite, and the Yebusite, as the Lord thy God has commanded thee, that they teach you not to do after all their abominations, which they've done to their gods. So should you sin against the Lord your God. When thou shalt besiege a city a long time, in making war against it to take it, thou shalt not destroy its trees by forcing an axe against them, for thou mayest eat of them, and thou shalt not cut them down. For is the tree of the field a man? For is the tree of the field a man, that it should be besieged by thee? Only the trees which thou knowest that they be not trees for food, thou shalt destroy and cut them down. And thou shalt build bulwarks against the city that makes war with thee, until it be subdued. If one be found slain in the land which the Lord thy God gives thee to possess it, lying in the field, and it be not known who has slain him, then thy elders and thy judges shall come out, and they shall measure to the cities which are round about him that is slain. And it shall be that as for the city which is nearest to the slain man, the elders of that city shall take a heifer which has not been put to work, and which has not drawn in the yoke, and the elders of that city shall bring down the heifer to a rough ravine, which is neither plowed nor sown, and shall break the heifer's neck there in the ravine. And the priests, the sons of Levi, shall come near, for them the Lord thy God has chosen to minister to him, and to bless in the name of the Lord. And by their word shall every controversy and every stroke be tried. And all the elders of that city that are nearest to the slain man shall wash their hands over the heifer whose neck was broken in the ravine. And they shall answer and say, Our hands have not shed this blood, nor have our eyes seen it. Be merciful, O Lord, to thy people Israel, whom thou hast redeemed, and lay not innocent blood to the charge of thy people Israel, and the blood shall be forgiven them. So shalt thou put away the innocent blood from among you, when thou shalt do that which is right in the sight of the Lord. When thou goest forth to war against thy enemies, and the Lord thy God has delivered them into thy hands, and thou hast taken them captive, and thou seest among the captives a beautiful woman, and hast a desire to her, that thou wouldest have her to thy wife, then thou shalt bring her home to thy house, and she shall shave her head, and pare her nails, and she shall put the raiment of her captivity from off her, and shall remain in thy house, and bewail her father and her mother a full month. And after that thou shalt go into her, and be her husband, and she shall be thy wife. And it shall be if thou have no delight in her, then thou shalt let her go where she will. But thou shalt not sell her at all for money. Thou shalt not treat her as a slave, because thou hast humbled her. If a man have 2 wives, one beloved and the other hated, and they have borne him children, both the beloved and the hated, and if the firstborn son be hers that was hated, then it shall be, when he makes his sons to inherit that which he has, that he may not give the preference to the son of the beloved wife over the son of the hated wife, who is the firstborn. But he shall acknowledge the son of the hated for the firstborn, by giving him a double portion of all that he has. For he is the beginning of his strength, the right of the firstborn is his. If a man have a stubborn and rebellious son, who will not obey the voice of his father, or the voice of his mother, and that, when they have chastened him, will not hearken to them, then shall his father and his mother lay hold of him, and bring him out to the elders of his city, and to the gate of his place. And they shall say to the elders of his city, This our son is stubborn and rebellious. He will not obey our voice. He is a glutton and a drunkard. And all the men of his city shall stone him with stones, that he die. So thou shalt put away evil from among you, and all Israel shall hear and fear. And if a man have committed a sin worthy of death, and he is put to death, and thou hang him on a tree, his body shall not remain all night upon the tree, but thou shalt surely bury him that day. For he that is hanged is accursed of God, that thy land might be not defiled, which the Lord thy God gives thee for an inheritance. Thou shalt not see thy brother's ox or his sheep go astray, and hide thyself from them. Thou shalt surely bring them back to thy brother. And if thy brother be not near to thee, or if thou know him not, then thou shalt bring it to thy own house, and it shall be with thee until thy brother seek after it, and thou shalt restore it to him again. In like manner shalt thou do with his ass, and so shalt thou do with his garment, and with every lost thing of thy brother's, which he has lost, and thou hast found. Shalt thou do likewise, that mayest not hide thyself. Thou shalt not see thy brother's ass or his ox fall down by the way, and hide thyself from them, if thou shalt surely help him to lift them up again. A woman shall not wear that which pertains to a man, neither shall a man put on a woman's garment. For all that do so are abomination to the Lord thy God. That's Deuteronomy 22:6.